there was this interesting topic that came to mind that if money wasn't an issue, what would you be doing? And, this has been something that's been on my mind for a long time. Actually, in fact, for many years when I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. It took me a good 5 years until I really found my passion, which was, photography and videography. But up until that point, I was more focused on monetary gains and materialistic things rather than focusing on the sole purpose of what really makes me happy. So then I asked myself, and I guess I'm asking you as well, if money wasn't an issue, what would you be doing? And for me, photography has always been sort of at that top of the list. That if I had to choose one thing to do for the rest of my life that I really absolutely admired and absolutely loved, it would definitely be photography, even if I wasn't making money. So what would you be doing? And I know that some people now, with today's kind of system, they tell you that you have to finish a degree and you can either be a tradie, a doctor, a lawyer. But even though those jobs offer high pay, is that something you really want to do? Is that something you're going to really enjoy for the rest of your life? Or is it mostly because it pays well, it gives you a good income and you can buy all the things you want? But if you're not enjoying it and you're just doing it for the sole purpose of money, are you really living? Because I guess we kind of have to go past the idea of just living. We have to do more than live. We have to have some kind of purpose. Why are we here? What is it that's burning inside our soul, inside our heart, that is calling out to us, craving for that passion, that fire that really sparks you? And that's what you have to ask yourself. So whatever you're doing right now, are you really enjoying it? Do you really love it? Do you find purpose? Do you find it fulfilling? Do you find yourself being able to wake up each morning and do this for the next, say, 20, 30 years of your life? If the answer is yes, then by all means continue pursuing and doing what you love. But if the answer is no, then you have to really do some soul searching and ask yourself, what is your passion? What is your drive? What motivates you to get you out of bed every morning to do what you love and to do what you want to do? I'll tell you a little story, a little backstory. A couple years ago, I said to myself I was going to get myself a full-time job. I was going to stop photography because it wasn't really working for me, and that I was going to just do a 9 to 5 because for the sole purpose of consistency, being able to get a consistent income and, being somewhat secure, having security and whatnot, and being able to buy the things that I want to buy. So I went to an interview for a bank job, and this was for a credit card loaning department where people call up and they want to get a credit card for Christmas, Black Friday, whatever it is they want to spend on travel, and I'm the person on the phone that will either approve it or disapprove it depending on their record and seeing how much we can give them, or if they have a good credit score, whatever the case is, right? Now, I got the position. There was a lot of people in that meeting room, and we had to kind of introduce ourselves. We had to talk a little bit about what we did and why we should get the role. There was probably about maybe 20, 25 people all up. And out of, I think it was a group of maybe 8, I was one of the 8. And I got the job. And so for the next 3 weeks, we'll be undergoing something called like training, like specific training for this. And I remember the first day that I arrived, I was in a suit. And there was like this level of excitement, but there was also, for some reason, I don't know what it was, like call it intuition or gut instinct. Me in a suit just didn't work. I don't know what it was about it. I just didn't feel right. Walking to the station, waking up at like 6:30 in the morning to do a job that I'm not really passionate about, but it was really good pay. It was about $1,600 a week after tax, which is considerably good where I am here in Australia. That's actually really good. But for the next 3 weeks, if I'm being completely honest, I was more depressed than have been in a very long time. I was I was so dreaded waking up each morning, knowing that I was going to go back to work, working in this cubicle where it's a large company. There's more than 500 employees, where you're treated like a number. You're just a number to them. You're easily replaceable like that. It doesn't matter. You don't matter. It's not like where you're working for a company where there's it's a small company, small, startup, where there's anywhere from between 5 to 20 people, right? Where everyone knows each other, your family, your friends, you're close, right? Here there's 500 people. You can't have that in this kind of environment. It just doesn't happen. So I learned that very quickly, getting in that kind of corporate field. And I absolutely just hated every moment of it. And that was just training. The start time was 8:45 and it was to 6:45, Monday to Friday, with every second Saturday you'd be working. And the thing about it was so meticulous. It was like the exact same thing you're doing every day. There was no change up. It's the same thing. You have half an hour lunch and you have 30 minutes exactly to get back and clock in, and then you got to clock out. And if you're a minute late, you have to go see the manager. I felt like a robot. And that's not to offend anyone that's actually doing it and really enjoys it. There are people that are. I know some people before I left that are still doing it today and they're really enjoying it. But for me, I absolutely lost every sense of purpose, fulfillment, passion, joy. That fire that was in me was gone, just vanished. So after 3 weeks, I quit. I remember some people that were close to me at the time said, you're a quitter. Why would you quit? You had a good job, you had a secure job and everything, and you just quit like that after just 3 weeks. Why didn't you hold on for 6 months to a year? And for those people, I remember just telling them because I was losing myself. I was losing everything that was me. And I know it might sound crazy for a lot of you out there that don't understand this, but for me, even though it was just 3 weeks, it felt like a lifetime. It felt like a lifetime of misery, depression. I just went through a whole lot of stages of just negativity. I just wasn't happy because there was no fulfillment. And I couldn't do it. I spoke to a couple of friends of mine, actually, a really close friend, Sam, a cinematographer. And I told him the situation, I told him everything that was bothering me about it. And he gave me this quote, and hold on, let me find the quote. I'll find the quote. Give me one moment, I'll find the quote right now so I'll share it with you. Because it's very important. Alright. So the quote was this: "No amount of security is worth the suffering of a mediocre life chained to a routine that killed your dreams." I'll say it once more. No amount of security is worth the suffering of a mediocre life chained to a routine that has killed your dreams. And this is by Maya Mendoza. And that quote really resonated with me. I remember that day, I was eating a burrito in the shopping center where I worked. And I decided to call Sam up and tell him about my situation. And he gave me that quote, and I spoke to him, and he said, if you're not enjoying it, no amount of money is ever going to fulfill you. And then I realized that importance of how money really doesn't make you happy. Sure, in the short term you can buy things, those materialistic things you want, the car, the new camera, whatever it is. But long term, if you're doing something that you don't truly enjoy, you're honestly wasting your time. And my only kind of suggestion would be to find what your passion is, to find what really fuels you, what really drives you, and chase after that. When I quit that job, the banking job, I remember feeling so much better after about a week, and I started focusing more back on my photography and videography, and while it didn't pick up as quickly as I wanted it to, I was happy. And it's kind of profound when you think about it. How do you be happy when you're broke? And you'd be surprised. You look at third world countries that are even more happy than people that are in first world countries that have all the benefits and everything like that. They're actually more truly happy because they're rich in their hearts and not in their money. I feel like sometimes when you have too much money, when you're rich, when you come from an entitled kind of family in the sense that, everything was kind of given to you on a silver platter, you don't appreciate and value life and the small things as much as you would if you didn't have it and then you had it. So for me, it's about not taking things for granted, really being appreciative for what you have right now. And for me right now, photography and videography is everything, especially photography. I feel like I've been resonating in a lot closer to photography than I am more with videography, but I still love both. The idea of, telling a story that's kind of etching to come out inside of you is such a beautiful thing. And deep down, we're all storytellers. So what's your story? And what do you want to be doing? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is something that's just been on my mind, and I really wanted to share it with you. Find what your passion is, guys. And if it's not what you're doing right now, stop, reevaluate, and really consider what you guys want to do, and go out there and chase it. It's never too late. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can always start now. I'll catch you guys in the next one.